You just heard me in the previous lecture sound, let's face it, kind of negative on special effects and the technology of PowerPoint, even though I'm a big fan of PowerPoint. But there are some technological tricks that I do think will help you give your PowerPoint presentation more effectively. For starters, if you want people to actually listen to you when you're talking, you shouldn't distract them with anything on the screen. And I mean with anything. Don't have your big logo up or today's topic is presented by. If you want people to focus on what you're saying, the spotlight should be just on you. Now, how do you do that if you have a PowerPoint presentation you're giving and it's up and it's on, especially if somebody else created the slide and you're giving it for your boss or someone else? Well, let me tell you the technological fix-it for this. You go up to the laptop or the keyboard that's being used to run the PowerPoint and you just hit the letter B. B for black. It blacks out the screen. Now, the projector's still on. You haven't turned off the projector. The computer is still on. You haven't turned it off. You just hit B. It blacks it out. Works on any keyboard. If you hit any key whatsoever on your keyboard, it comes back right where it was. So if you want people to listen to you, don't have them look at the screen. If you want them to look at the screen, what I recommend doing and what I do myself, shut your mouth. That's right. When I put something up on a screen, when I'm giving PowerPoint, I close my mouth. Stop, maybe turn and look at it only for a couple of seconds, because if you follow my principles, you have one image up there. It should only require being looked at for a couple of seconds, and then you've got it. So that's one trick. Hit letter B, blacks it out. Any key brings it back. You can also hit the letter W. W whites it out. Now that's a bit harsh on the eye. Between the two, I much prefer black because the white screen can be just so bright. But you heard me mention this in previous lectures. All of us think we're great multitaskers, and yet all the research shows human beings are actually horrible multitaskers. Look at all the deaths on the highways of people texting. But what do we as public speakers, as presenters, do? We tell an audience, listen to me speak. No, read this stuff over here. No, look at these handouts here. We're constantly asking the audience to multitask, boom, 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 doing three things at once. Why do we do that? You don't really have any evidence to suggest that your audience is good at that. All the research shows if you give one person three things to do, ask them to do all three at once, and you take another person, you say, here's one task, finish it, give them another task, let them finish it, give them a third task, let them finish it. This person here will finish sooner with fewer errors than the one person trying to do all three things at once. So what I recommend when you're giving a speech, ask people to do one thing at a time. If you're talking, don't have any slides up, don't have anything for them to read. If you want to give them something to read, a one-page handout, for example, shut your mouth, don't have any slides up, give them time to read it. If you want them to look at the slide, don't have any handouts, and shut your mouth. Let them read it. I know it sounds radical, but when you really think about it, it's just common sense based on what you know already works on human beings. Those of you who have children, do you really think your children are better off listening to music, having the TV on, talking to their friends on the phone, and doing their homework all at the same time versus just doing their homework? Which is really more effective regardless of what your kids tell you. Your audience is exactly the same. Now you could say, well, our corporate culture, we do it. I don't care about your corporate culture. I care about the culture of your audience that they've been in their whole lives. People are in a culture where they're used to, if it's important, doing one thing at a time, because that's really how brains work most effectively. So try not to distract people. The B is one way of doing that. That's also, I'm not a fan at all of the builds. When I say a build, that's when you have a slide, one sentence goes on, you hit a button, sort of another sentence comes on, you hit it, the advance, something else pops up, and it's kind of like one of those little birds at the gas station checkout that's like this. You're sort of bopping up and down. It's very distracting. It's manipulative. It's kind of the poor woman's teleprompter. Awful way of using PowerPoint. Don't do it. So there are technological things that can help. Stick with the simple ones. B for black, W for white.